Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an episode of Career Mode. Now this episode we finally hit the January transfer window. Now we have some players that we want to get rid of. We have players that other clubs might be interested in, and I think I'm about halfway through the January transfer window. So as always guys, your comments on my Facebook page, my Twitter, and most importantly on the comments of these video about who I should pick up, like who I should replace, that sort of thing. Just remember guys, the sort of money I have to spend and what sort of positions I have that are already strong, etc, etc. So just keep those sort of things in mind when you're recommending me players. But let's get a look. So we had this game against Swansea and they take the lead early on, and I thought, you've got to be kidding me. You know, we lost already to we lost to Celtic, and the other one was to Southampton. I think was our first loss in the league. So I was really hoping it wasn't becoming going to become any sort of regular theme towards my games. Now I didn't want to hit this sort of slump, so it didn't matter though at all, because we responded with an Alexandro goal. I'm not too sure what he was doing so far up and in that sort of danger area. That's usually where the likes of Sturridge should be, but Sturridge there, they were kind of sucking him off there in the commentary, showed how many goals he's had this season, and just to let them know what sort of boss he is, he just does it again and he buries one there. He quickly turns two defenders actually and gives them just the smallest bit of space, and that's all he needs at the moment. You know, he's an 87 rated striker and he is just wrecking face right now. Aubameyang there plays the ball through to Zaha. Zaha just whips it back inside, and for me that was actually a really nice work goal. I was very impressed with that, the way the 1-2s worked so well, and it ended up just being a really good first half. You know, we went 1-0 down, and to respond like that, to pick up 3 goals, you know, just before halftime as well, was really important. So the second half could hopefully only get better, but you never know with the team. Sometimes we just have those sort of weird moments where everything seems to crumble, and that's exactly what happened to us with Southampton. But a good ball played through to Zaha, and Zaha there, who I have to admit I've been starting quite frequently, has really impressed me. You know, he's actually shown a lot of skill, and he's actually been one of the better wingers that I've used. You know, I do have Oxlade-Chamberlain, Asaidi as well. I also have Sterling, so I have a lot of wingers, but for me, Zaha seems to be the best. I decided to start Munai in there as well, because you guys had actually told me you'd like to see him start a little bit more often. You think he is the one that should be starting most games. I saw that in the top comment, so I thought, you know what, I will take your advice on board, and that's what I did. That's why he started this particular game, and I believe he goes on to start a few more as well. So 4-1 up, things were looking tasty, and he swings one in there. Unfortunately for them, it does just go past the side of the post, and fortunately for me, it just wasn't a goal. And the amount of times I've been 4-1 up, you know, they've got another goal back, and then they get another one, and then they just start to creep up, and I just crap myself and just play, you know, really defensive football. I guess super lucky there with some beautiful EA bullshit. Sturridge bullies the defender. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get that finesse off. Those are my sort of my favorite finesses in FIFA 14. What the hell am I talking about? FIFA 13 are the ones where their body just opens up a little bit and they just guide it into the corner. I think it looks so awesome in this game. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm just so impressed by it. But that was it. 4-1 at the end. Sturridge getting a goal, and it was 4 different goal scorers actually, which is quite rare for me. Usually it's split between Sturridge and Aubameyang, but today we had 4 different ones, which is cool. But we do have the transfer window. At last, it's here. Unfortunately, Asaidi is out for 3 months. That is a huge kick in the balls. He has been a really good winger for me. Him and Zaha have both been, you know, the starting wingers, and unfortunately he'll be out for 3 months. But I suppose that gives the likes of Sterling and Oxlade-Chamberlain a bit more chance to kind of show their worth as a starting 11 player. But Liverpool's Ulreich there is linked to Fiorentina. I look forward to see if anything actually happens with that and what sort of bids I'm going to be getting for him, because he is 85 rated. I understand he's not the youngest goalkeeper out there. There's certainly some better ones out there. I've got my eye on a few, Ter Stegen there, Courtois as well, and just a few other players that have really caught my eye. But we'll have to wait and see, because we actually had a Chelsea game relatively early on in the transfer window, and that really annoys me. You know what I really want to do sometimes is during the transfer window, I just want to simulate the games, because when I'm in the transfer window mode, all I want to do is buy players, sell players. I can't be arsed playing games and things like that. I just want to buy, sell, and just have a good time, you know, doing all the transfer window stuff. And then when games pop up in the middle of the transfer window, I just really can't be arsed most of the time. But, you know, it's a Chelsea game. Last time we played Chelsea, we beat them, and we beat them very comfortably. I felt good about the team. So going into this game, I felt confident again. I'm not entirely sure what happened in that Southampton game because, you know, besides that Southampton Celtic game, we'd actually still been playing very well, and we'd responded very well as well. So with all those sort of as wells and bean wells and just wells all over the place, we're going to move on into this game as 0-0 up into the 40th minute as well. So the game was a bit of a stalemate. As you can see, we actually had a really nice piece of possession here, just managing to hold on to the ball, and eventually, you know, we do get through, and it's just good passing play, you know, just waiting for that opening to come, not forcing anything too much. And that's really what you have to do in career mode, is just wait for that one opportunity. And there, a little bit of space opens up, and I think that was Mvia that took the strike. Unfortunately, it didn't go into the back of the net, but still, you know, it was a well-worked effort. A great header there from Juan Mata. He's not the tallest of players, so I was impressed that he managed to get to that. And most of all, he was actually in a fantastic position to head that down. So a little unfortunate that he didn't score it, but at the end of the day, he's not exactly the biggest player out there. A beauty strike from Sturridge as he fires that past Peter Cech. There's not much that gets past that goalkeeper, but that shot there was literally a bazooka, and that just went right into the back of the net. So really happy with that. A Bicey coming off him as well. Unfortunately, that didn't go in. I have to admit, I haven't actually scored any sort of incredible goal for a while, you know, so I think it's about time I scored something like a Bicey or something along those lines. But a nice through ball threaded through. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be, and Chelsea weren't able to pick up the goal there, but a beautiful ball played through, and that is a really poor miss from that attacker. I think that was Lukaku. I'm not entirely sure. It looked like a big black guy to me, and unfortunately he wasn't able to score. Aubameyang there does very much the same and misses the header. So that's two really easy headers missed in this game, one from Chelsea and one from myself. But Sterling there on the wing manages to steal it off of their left back, I think it was, and a good ball played into the back post again, and the header is missed again. What is with this? I do not know, but it ended up finishing 1-0, and that's all that matters. You know, we pick up the 3 points, and that's what counts. But like I said, that was quite poor in my opinion. I really think we should have you know, finished that 3-1, you know, something along those lines. But we actually get an offer from Barcelona here for 33.5 million, and he's just worth so much more to me than that. And as you can see, even the chief executive agrees. Something between the 40 million and 51 million region would suit it. So I decided, why not just be a little bit cheeky and bump that up to around 52 million just to see if they would bite. Barcelona are actually known quite well for really holding their ground when it comes to prices. I know Barcelona, they've often bid for a few of my other players, and whenever I bump the price up to something I feel as though he's worth, they are very reluctant to sort of go ahead and pay that extra money. So when Barcelona put that offer in and I counter offered with that sort of money, I didn't really expect them to accept it. Fiorentina, as rumored in the papers, did decide to throw in a bid for Ulreich, but for me, he's been playing so well recently. He's just been a consistent keeper. That's the best way to put it. He's just been 100% consistent for me, and I just had to respond with, I wanted more money than 4.4 million. I definitely feel as though he's been playing a lot better. Napoli chuck in a 14 million bid for Ogbonna. Ogbonna has been an amazing center back. There is no way in hell he is going for 14 million. I understand defenders and goalkeepers tend to go for quite a bit less than any sort of attackers, but for me, Ogbonna has just been unreal, and if I want any sort of opportunity, he's got to stay at the club. But boom, there it is. Barcelona surprised me as they decide to match the 52.5 million bid, and it looks like Aubameyang could be on his way to Barcelona, and it looks like we might have some extra money in the bank to go and spend on some players. So guys, put in the comments, who should I pick up? Because I'm now going to have around 44 million to spend. It looks like Barcelona have matched it. And wow, that has actually made things a whole lot more interesting in this career mode. And it looks like we could have some new players on the horizon. So keep an eye out, guys. Maybe a goalkeeper, maybe a new striker. Obviously, I'm going to need someone to replace. Who is it going to be? Let me know in the comments. I hope you guys all have a cracking day, and I'll see you in a bit, guys. Bye-bye.